the cheeks clap.
No, I fixed that last week. So as long as he's in this group chat, we'll be good. It's rolling. I would say give us another 60 seconds and then I'll give you guys a countdown.
Clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap. Clap.
All right, Chris, I'm going to give you our
Clap. 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 Clap.
It's real, dude. I get it.
Clap. 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 Clap.
All right, ready?
Clap.
5,
Clap. Clap.
4,
Clap.
3, 2.
Hello, race fans. Dresden here. Tonight, the CCRL circus travels to an old school racetrack. It's bumpy, it's narrow, it is difficult to pass. It is Suzuka, Japan. I'm looking forward to tonight. With me, as always, in the commentary box is PK. How you feeling tonight, bud?
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm excited. We're going to a classic track, Japan. And Dresden, I'm curious if we're going to get any weather tonight.
Oh, man, I hope it's nothing like what the 22 that was a effing nightmare. It does rain a lot in Japan. I know, honestly, from experience when I spent some time in the Marine Corps and spent a year there, and when the rain rolls in, it is like this wall that you cannot see through, and you can see it marching towards you, and when it hits, it's just it. You're just drenched.
Torrential
And
downpours.
man, yeah, it's such a nightmare, and that the F-122 or the 2022 Suzuka was a wet one, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was.
Yeah, so yeah, some rain could be interesting tonight. I do hope we get a little bit. Okay, but before we turn to Japan, let's go ahead and take a look at last week's race. Bahrain was a banger. I'm so sorry you missed it. I thought it was a great one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was under the weather last week, but yeah, I heard it was great.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed Bahrain. There was a lot of cool fights. I thought Mercedes had a really good day, and so did McLaren. Go McLaren. Shashir up 10, I thought, and Jay Prince had a. Also, we had Reimer with a big spin early, but recovered all day, all the way to fourth place, I think. Barney had a dramatic day. Came in locked in. He looked good in qualifying, looked good during the race. His race pace was really, really strong, but under the safety car, if I remember correctly, I thought I saw in the Discord, collided with the safety car because he had this really late pit stop that made no sense, and there was a wing change, destroyed his race
Oh,
completely after leading like the whole time, and it's extra painful because his vacation starts tonight. So a DNF, I think, ultimately from Bahrain, and then the next two races. It's going to be rough. Barney just having a rough season all of a sudden. It's kind of tough to watch.
Well, sometimes you need that so that you
Uh,
can bounce back from it, you know?
yeah, that's a good story arc. You know, it's going good, and all of a sudden it's terrible, and then we're looking for redemption. Yeah, so and then Z Milk would have a fantastic back and forth battle with Leipzig. They were battling over second place at the time because Barney was out ahead, but they would trade a couple of times, so it was really, really fun. And tonight's interview is going to be with Leipzig. He's in the commentary box with us now. Leipzig, how are you doing, bud?
Good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Good, good. We really want to dig into your Bahrain because you had such a fascinating race, I thought. Uh, Maybe we can start with the start because your off the line was a bit sluggish in Bahrain. It must be said. What happened there? And take us through turn one.
I mean, it's been something that's been happening to me recently in every track. I'm not starting very well. I have to practice that a bit more because I'm losing quite a bit of positions out of the gate, which obviously it's not ideal.
Yeah.
And turn one was a bit of a mayhem. I got, I believe it was got rewinds, kind of sticking the car inside and going past me, but I just had to avoid any contact in turn one and have my race.
Yeah, so curveball would get on the inside, and I think God Rewinds was on the outside, and then around turn
Yeah.
two, the bit of shoving there from Rewinds, and curveball would slip through, and then both of you on the inside and the outside into turn three. It was quite dramatic start.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to avoid contact with anybody. I didn't want to ruin my race in lap one.
Yeah, I mean, turn one at Bahrain. That's a fun one. All right, so let's go now to lap seven. Your battle with Z Milk, right? Z Milk is you would you both of you would arrive into turn one, lap seven, with you a little bit ahead on the outside. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, so from here, I believe Barney was already ahead of us for quite a bit, right? If I'm not
That's
mistaken.
right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I believe Zenock actually got confused during the virtual safety car and gave Barney that huge lead, which didn't help us both. Um, I don't know if you noticed that part,
Yeah,
but
it was a bit confusing how far away you
yeah.
guys were after the VSC.
But the fun fact here is that Zenock was on a much higher downforce setup than me, and I thought that passing him was going to be a better strategy, but actually we were actually catching Barney when Z-Milk was in front. So I think actually passing Z-Milk was a bad decision because I was actually holding up Z-Milk and we were not catching Barney, so it was a bit stressful at
Oh,
that point.
wow. See, that's an interesting bit of wrinkle because now I commented on the race, right?
Yeah.
Uh, you seem to be able to pass Z Milk easily, but Z Milk's got overall lap pace, right? So that you saw this in Portimao too. He's able to follow you, but doesn't seem to be able to get by you.
Yeah, and that was stressful because we were catching Barney when Z-Milk was in front of me because he was pulling me right on the straights with the DRS,
Yeah.
and as soon as I got in front of him, the gap to Barney just stopped, and it was a bit frustrating.
Yeah, so you two would trade back and forth a couple times. That was fun to watch, especially your outside pass around the outside of turn one, lap seven. That was a pretty one on Z Milk. And then let's see, Z Milk would slip by you around turn 10, but then immediately the following turn one, you were already back ahead. But then you guys, so lap 18, into the pits you guys would go, and Z Milk was 8 seconds behind out of the pits.
Yeah, I believe he had a spin as soon on his in lap. I believe he span on lap on turn one, if I'm not mistaken. Which
Yeah, that was my guess. I didn't know if maybe there could have been a wing. I was thinking about it later. Could have been a wing change. Could have been the
yeah,
penalties into the, I don't know. But 8 seconds behind. So then it was just you and Barney. So before the safety car, in fact, without us, do you think you could have caught Barney?
no, not at all. I mean, our gap and our pace, even with Zimok, I mean, all our paces are so similar
Yeah.
that it takes a mistake for someone to actually get back into the DRS. So I didn't think I was going to be able to catch him.
Okay, let's turn to the safety car because this is pivotal, right? Safety
Yeah.
car comes out of lap 20. Only you dive into the pits.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? So you're the only one that dives in the pits. When you reestablish you're in sixth place, what were you thinking at that point?
I mean, I knew I had to do something to go get past Barney. I felt like both insane tires, it was gonna be just a DRS train. We were not gonna be, I was not gonna be able to pass him. So
Yeah.
I took a gamble. You know, I had to try something, and it worked out.
How did you feel though when you're sitting in sixth place? So this is before Barney pits, that crazy pit stop, right?
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to recover at least back in a second, or did you really think you had a good shot of winning?
I actually thought more people were gonna pit. I believe, like you said on the stream as well, you were a bit surprised that it was only me.
Yeah.
But as soon as it was just me on the mediums, I knew I was gonna have the pace. The hards take forever to warm up, so I knew I had to do my passes fast and get past those guys as soon as possible.
That is what happened though on the restart. You were
Yeah,
taking them like two at a time, I think.
yeah. I almost smashed into the back of Urban actually. So
So Barney would pit. That eliminated your biggest challenge, I think. And then you
yeah,
had two passes on the restart. And from that moment on, I felt, even though I didn't quite say it, I felt that there was no chance. Like you're on the faster tire, you've got only Z Milk and Curveball ahead of you. How were you feeling then?
yeah. I mean, to be fair, those tires felt great. I mean, I just felt so much faster that I knew I was confident. I could put the car wherever I wanted, and it was just gonna stick to the track.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, your race in Bahrain, like in terms of how it felt, where would you rate it? I mean, because you had good battles with Z Milk, that back and forth. You had a good challenge from Barney, and then great strategy at the end.
Yeah, I think it could be up there with an 8 or a 9. I think I could have gotten a better start and lose less positions. But I think overall, I mean, the strategy was a good call, so I have to give credit for that, I guess.
Well, it's cool, Leipzig. It's great to see. I'm always biased for the Davids, but man, you got to have your Goliaths on the grid, and I want to thank you and like Barney and Zemo because you're the guys. Like any mistake you make, we're like all over you. You know, and you have to put
That's
up
how
with
it
that
should be.
week after week.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are willing to bear that brunt. How are you feeling about Japan tonight?
Well, it's going to be a tricky track. Again, you saw last qualifying Bahrain, top 15 inside a second, so everybody's getting faster and faster.
Yeah.
So qualifying is getting more and more important because passing in Suzuka is going to be hard, especially as you mentioned, if it rains or anything like that, it's going to be a tough race.
Yeah, and watch out too because if once Pro Tier really kicks into gear and starts shuffling people back and forth, I think that's going to sharpen the competition here in the Elite Tier even more than it already is.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're going to get some fast guys.
All right, Lysik, thank you so much for joining us on the pre-show. Good luck tonight in Japan, bud.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the invite. Take
All
care,
right,
guys.
and take care, bud. So Lysik, man, what a great race he had in Bahrain. It was a banger, I thought, with a cool ending. So it was just exciting to watch. So let's take a look. Why don't we I understand my voice is scratchy. I wish I knew what it was. Hang on. Why don't you take us through the driver standings for a bit? Let's take a look at the state of the season. This is race 8 of 16, so we're halfway through.
Yeah, we'll take a look real quick, Drez. So, leading off the table is Z Milk in the number 1 position. He has 107 points. Reimer close behind with 105. Both of them taking 2 wins for the season. Leipzig, who we just spoke to, in the Haas machine in third, 86 points. So he is 19 points behind Reimer currently. So just a win away. Barney, who is out this week, I believe, down in fourth with 70 points in that Alfa Romeo. Curveball in 5th, Shashir 6th, Pontiac Bandit in 7th, Ooh and God Rewinds 8th and 9th respectively, split by just a point there. And then a tie for 10th, Bong It and Mastermind Lindsay sitting at 29 points apiece. Yeah, that's interesting, and I wish I could have caught that race. I know it had a lot of implications on this driver standings table, so we'll see if Japan does the same and kind of shake things up a little bit tonight. All right, let's switch over to the constructors. Williams currently sitting at the top of the table with 133 points, 2 wins. Alpha Tauri in second, 23 points behind, and with no wins, I must say, Alpha Tauri. So they've just been putting in consistent points finishes. Alpine third, just 1 point behind Alpha Tauri, and Haas 6 points behind Alpine. So second, third, and fourth highly contested there by just less than 7 points. McLaren in 5th at 79 points. 6th, Alfa Romeo with 70 points. Mercedes sitting in 7th with 42. Coincidentally, they jumped up 3 places in the standings last week. Red Bull in 8th with 38. Ferrari in 9th with 37th. And Aston Martin bringing up the rear at 34 points. Yep, yeah, and so Alpha Tauri, Alpine, Haas all split there by 7 points, and I'm expecting them to make up some ground on Williams tonight.
Oh man. So, and I had Curveball's corner all lined up, and unfortunately, I have to remember this from now on. I cannot access stuff on my phone while I'm streaming. So, Curveball, I'm trying like desperately to remember all the things that you sent up for me. Do you have it actually?
Yeah, I've got it pulled up right now.
Oh, see, okay. I want to talk about the Red Bull bet and the pro tier, and then I had a note about Z-Milk's bragging rights, right?
Yeah.
I want to include in curveball, like apparently Z-Milk now after the draft night domination. Z-Milk now has bragging rights for CCRL until the next draft. He is the strongest captain on the field.
Yeah, he just
Must be
killed
said.
it Monday night, taking 4 out of 5 wins in our Constructors Cup draft sprint race extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire is a good way. That was a long show. I did not realize we had.
Yeah,
we
it
went,
was a long show.
it was too. So when we're planning content, we're going to get better at this. 2 hours and 40 minutes may have been, an hour and 40 minutes too long. I don't know.
Hey, we filled it.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so we've got just a couple
anyways.
minutes here, Drez. I just wanted to hit some of Curveball's highlights. I know he works hard on these. So
Yes,
obviously
yes.
tonight we're in Japan with the classic style race. So that's short quali and a 50% race. This is the 8th race of 16, so we're hitting our halfway point here for season 2.2. Currently with Red Bull, the driver with the most points after season 2 will get to have a Red Bull team and bring their partner with. So right now, points between Curveball and Owawa. Curveball is leading that battle right now by 25 points. As we mentioned earlier, God Rewinds and Barney both out tonight. So there will be some shakeup, I believe, in the driver's standings. After the C4 battle, Reimer and Curveball are in a tight battle for 4th place spot, and Antonium and Bong It in a tight battle for the 10th place spot. And then we already mentioned Pro Tier getting ready to kick off as well, Drez. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I was going to say the curveball notes about championship places are both 2.1 and 2 combined. So he's always looking at like the long term for all of season combined. Usually when you and I are talking, we're just looking at 2.1.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, curveballs corner. Okay, so now we can look at. Oh man, okay. I don't want to talk about this. Apparently, my invite not going straight to the thing. Here we go. So let's talk about Japan. Barney not on grid. God Rewind's not on grid. And I thought I saw a note. Do we have Reimer? He was having internet. Yeah, Reimer.
Reimer
Okay,
made it.
Reimer's here. That's good to, because man, that would have been a lot of your top drivers not on the field. That would have been a bit rough.
All right, so it looks like everyone is readying up. Drez, you ready to head in?
Yeah, let's do some qualifying.
All right, everyone. This is CCRL. We'll see you in qualifying.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel? On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take a seat.
I think we'd be fine. How much time on the video? Hello, race fans. I'm in a car. Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Hey, are you able to get out and then come back in as spectate?
Yeah, but I think
It'll be AI.
I believe, yeah, and I don't think I want that to happen. We'll wait for a message.
Cashier says, Drez, you racing tonight?
Apparently. Oh, man. So I apologize, CCR. I'm a bit all over the place this evening. No, I'm not racing. I want to watch the fights, and I do not want to leave an AI on grid. You guys let me know how you want me to handle this evening. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just take a lap. Can I take a lap? No, I can't, because if I mess up somebody's qualifying, I'll feel terrible. I haven't driven. You mentioned you should just drive on controller. I have not like raced with a controller in so like I don't know.
Man.
It feels like sacrilege to me.
I haven't, since we've moved, I haven't busted out my wheel. So all this, since I've joined the league, I've been all on controller.
What is the best way to do this? Can I disqualify myself? Can I can retire from the session. I don't know. Honestly, I feel a little bit like, well, let's see here. I'm gonna quit to the main menu and come back as a spectator,
Yeah, see if you can do
and
that.
then we'll see what they ask us to do here.
So for those of you at home right now, we're currently riding along with Hemphead. I jumped on his real quick because I know the game came out with an update today. I was hoping that we were going to get the new livery for the Alfa Romeo because I thought that the 23 livery was supposed to drop, but apparently not. It looks like the same one, so I'm kind of a little disappointed, but we'll see what happens. And he is starting his fast lap here. into turn one, downhill. It's a two-part turn. Out of turn one, you're heading uphill, and then here we go through the S's. Probably one of the most defining parts of this track. You are just swinging wide, baby in the throttle. You are on the and as I say that, baby in the throttle, we get a snappa oversteer, and he is into the grass. We'll go on board with Reimer.
A bit of an ominous start there.
Reimer heading through the S's. Once again, baby in that throttle.
Looking a bit locked in. Heading through
Here we
Degner.
go, Degner 1 and Degner 2. Take it away, Drez. Are you back in?
Yeah, I'm back in. I'm watching Reimer now.
Nice.
Got traffic jumping out of the way. Oh, hits the apex well there. Riding down into Spoon is a very bumpy, flat to the floor, and Spoon feels like an easier version of turn 1 and 2. You got the fast entry that feeds you into the slower corner, and you're racing down the back straight while you cross over the figure 8 track. This is you can get passes into the 130R, but it's a very dangerous place. Most passes will happen either here into Casio. Oh, and a little deep Reimer carrying a little too much speed into the first part of Casio. Coming across the line now, we'll put on a 131.2. Not bad. He's 3/10 back from Z-Milk's pole time, which is a 30.7.
Yeah, it came in a little hot into Casio, and it really, on a full lap, that's really going to hurt you because you carry that loss all the way through down into turn 1. Want to real quick just give a shout out to David Morales. Thanks for watching us. Barney's not with us tonight, but you can keep rooting for him.
You can. And the best way to root for him is to root for quite a number of DNFs, because that's going to be what it takes to make sure Barney doesn't fall back quite far tonight. Lysick, Z-Milk, Reimer all ahead of him at the moment, and they're all here. It looks like Curveball has had a DNF. You seeing this?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Curveball there.
Man, probably a bad spin, pulled a wheel off. Curveball's going to start from the back of the grid. That's going to be punishing.
We'll see if we can find out what's going on with that.
Yeah, Lysick's got a pretty big... Oh, it would be so great if we could... Curveball probably not listening, but like a little blurb in the live stream chat when stuff like this happens, guys. That would be so awesome. Lysick a big step forward to 30.2. He's 5/10 faster than Z-Milk at the moment.
Want to give a shout out to Noel Checo. Thanks for joining us here on the stream. Appreciate you coming.
So, who do you want to take a ride with now? Oh, my name.
I am on board
McLaren.
with Urban right now. He is coming through Casio. Okay. He may actually already be on a hot lap right now. We'll see what time he puts up on the board.
Looks like he's starting.
Starting his hot. So here we go, riding along with Urban.
So Urban into turn 1. And that's where most passes will happen. You'll need to line up Casio by 0.3, 0.2 behind, and then get the pass done into turn 1. Looking solid through the S complex is the Mercedes-Benz at the moment. Good acceleration on the race down to the Degners, and here are my favorite part of the track. Two highly banked corners that they're fast, but man, they are a lot of fun. You race down to the hairpin now where you need to line up, just break straight, missing the apex. Deep is Urban, but you can't carry a lot of speed through there. A couple of different lines do work. around that corner, heading down to Spoon, which will dump us onto the back straight, losing all the track. Is Urban a bit wide on the second part of the turn? This part so bumpy. And then I always feel just a little like you can take 130R flat out, but I always feel nervous here. And then finally, I think Casio is the skill curve.
Yeah, agreed.
Personally, yeah, because it's such it affects your lap time so much. Urban across the line with a 32 flat, good enough for 7th, and notice Agnote.
Yeah, he went purple
At the moment.
in section 3, did Urban. So he found some time, I think, coming through that last sector of track.
Yeah, so for sure, Casio, like when you're doing Casio right, it shaves so much time off your lap, and you can take so much curb into Casio, the first part of it, and you got to take a lot of curb on the way out too. So Agnote's got 31.3 on the board, and that's pretty competitive because he's right in there around Reimer and Owa. And look at Walrus.
Walrus setting almost into the 129s.
It's pretty quick.
Update on curveball real quick. So apparently Hemphead spun and then came back on the track right at the same time and actually beat curveball to the scene of the accident. So curveball out of the session.
Oh no. Oh no, curveball got it, and that's a bit punishing. Curveball, was he 4th or 5th in the championship right now?
Yeah, currently 5th.
Have to do. Yeah, he's gonna have to recover here tonight. Curveball got work ahead. Now we've got a second DNF SP. Also out. Want to take a lap with Dresden?
Let's see how Dresden is still in the pits. So
still in the pits. Oh man, how? How do you forget that? I feel terrible right now. Feeney off the track at the moment. Let's see here. Is Pontiac Bandit hot? Can we take a lap with him?
I believe he might be.
Okay, looks fast down the back straight into 8th. Now heading into the final part of the track. Japan's is the first place where I had like where my addiction to driving really began. Pontiac into the pits. Let's find ourselves a race here. Owa maybe hot.
Looks like Reimer possibly coming across the line for a flyer
to start. Okay, so let's ride on board with Reimer then. Yeah, so the first time I ever had like I didn't win, but I challenged somebody I respected, and it was kind of a back and forth thing, and man, Reimer catching curb through the S's and lucky to catch the car.
Yeah.
And that lap is scrubbed.
Yep, that lap is over.
So Lysig's on an out lap. I want to catch that. Is Z-Milk currently hot? I believe
Z-Milk looks like he is on a hot lap right now.
Yeah. So we'll ride on board with him, and then we'll jump over to Lysig. We'll see. Let's try to catch somebody answering Walrus. Will Walrus grab a pole?
I mean,
pretty fun to see.
Lysig's got 2 tenths to make up. I think that's probably findable. Z-Milk 7 tenths to find. Might be a little harder.
7 tenths. Yeah, there's quite some gap going on. Z-Milk's going to come across the line now. Is he improving? It looks like a big step forward. There's the 7 tenths. Almost exactly 7 tenths.
He did almost find all of that, and we're going to jump on board with Lysig here and see if he can muster up at least a couple tenths to take that pole from Angry Walrus.
Solid lines through the S's. This already feels quick. And Leipzig, like, he comes out and he kind of sights in. Like, Barney will land, and he's down 300 in Sector 1, so pretty dialed in Sector 1. So Leipzig will take steps forward, right? Each one seems to be a little bit faster and a little bit faster. Barney comes in and he's just nailed down, right? That's what it seems like lately, even though he's not here tonight. And wife wants her chips. And so Barney seems nailed in, but Lysick always seems to find sometimes Sector 2 time coming across the board.
Lysick got a great toe from that Red Bull down that back straightaway.
Yeah, up into Casio now. Takes curb on the entry, curb on the exit. Looks onto the accelerator hard. Did he find another 10th in Sector 3 across the line? Now he goes. Oh, no. No. Oh, he lost a little bit in Sector 2, or Sector 3.
That felt so hot.
Yeah, it did. So look at the front. The Walrus. No, we need to hop on board with Walrus because he was on a hot lap too. Oh, never mind. Pushing a little bit too hard through the S's, it looks like, for Walrus.
Currently on board with Feeney. Feeney's out on a hot lap. Coming around Spoon currently.
Was quite wide through Spoon, looked like to me, but the computer not punishing him. Feeney looking fast tonight.
He is a couple seconds behind coming out of Sector 2, so that's not going to be a competitive time, unfortunately.
Okay. Let's see here. Walrus probably coming in. Is Z-Milk hot again? Yeah, it can't be. Got to be into the pits now.
Urban's on a hot lap.
Okay, action 10. Urban starting a hot lap.
Just over 3 minutes to go here on board with Urban as he goes into turn 1 and turn 2.
I'm a bit nervous about turn 1 in Japan. It's such a it's kind of like Portimao's turn 1, right? It's narrow, it's really fast, right?
And there's a conservative way to take it, and there's an aggressive way to take it. And the line between the two is very thin.
It's really thin, especially if you're trying to hold the inside line. You have to respect turn 1 in Japan. The outside line is typically the quicker. If you're equal, if you're side by side, if you're a little bit ahead, you can make the inside line work. But if you're side by side and you try to hold as much speed as the guy on the outside, you're just going to run him off the track, and both of you are going to be out. So what people have to do, they got to break a little bit more on that inside line, and you see people, trying to ride the inside as if it's the outside and get into trouble that way.
Urban a couple tenths up going in here. He could knock Shiesty if he can hold on to the end of this lap.
He needs to, though. That Casio felt a bit rough. He still has a 10th up, and he will jump. I think he went into, he did pip Shiesty. Urban into 10th. So, an interesting qualifying. Walrus still sitting on provisional pole. Z-Milk heading out for an outlap. We should get the final round of hot laps starting. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds remain. So if they're just starting their outlap, they need to hustle. It's going to need to be a fast outlap.
Yeah, if you look at the times, we're doing a 1 minute 30s, and there's 1 minute 15 seconds left in the session. So some of these guys really need to, like you said, hustle and get up to the line.
Yeah, Leipzig. Let's see, where's Leipzig? He's got time, I think. Feeney, I don't think Feeney's going to make it around. He's off the track now. So Feeney may not get another one in. Owa's got time. Okay, and Walrus is going to be very close. Let's ride on board with Z-Milk. He's going to be the first one to start. top five's interesting. Seeing Walrus take a pole in Suzuka, that would be a very good storyline.
Yeah, Z Milk. I mean, after his run of terror on Monday night, if he starts anywhere in the top five, I feel like those people need to be a little worried.
He was so consistent, and Leipzig confirming something that we had kind of been thinking about. Z-Milk's strategy seems to be a little bit more downforce than his competition, but he combines that with tier S pace and the downforce giving him tier S plus consistency, and I think he's relying on that consistency over the long term to pay dividends. So 30 flat from Walrus, that's it. He did not get an extra hot lap, and we're on board with Z-Milk. He needs to find an entire 10th to snake pole, and remember Leipzig, the pole stealer, is still on a hot lap as well. We'll jump to him as soon as, okay, so Z-Milk not improving. Let's check in with Leipzig. Though I may have switched a little bit too soon, you can find a lot of time in Sector 3. Leipzig is down 3/10 at the moment, looking like he's gonna steal pole. Z-Milk will be across the line soon. He does not improve, so he's in second place at the moment. Oh, a huge spin back in, letting go for Leipzig. He did have almost 4/10 in hand, and he may be able, no, it seems like he's backed out. That was a big mistake from Leipzig. Pole lost in that moment right there. Owa is still hot. Let's find out if he's looking to pip anybody. He needs a 10th to grab Reimer's spot.
Yeah, things were getting exciting there. It looked like we could have had a couple different, and Owa up half a second going into the last sector. So we'll see what he can do.
It looks like he could grab second row from Feeney, a good Casio. It felt like Owa is meeting business. Looked like 5/10 exactly. I think that's second row. Fourth place for Owa. Four right at the end. Nice job from the Red Bull driver. That was fun.
Yeah, if you're going to do a great lap, you might as well make it the last one.
Look at Walrus. First place. That may be his first pole. Don't quote me on that. But Walrus looking to surprise us tonight. Could be a victory for Aston Martin.
Top three all within just nearly a 10th. So I think we could have a very good battle on our hands tonight between Walrus, Z-Milk, and Leipzig. Three different constructors in the top three there. So this will be interesting.
Yeah, I love seeing that, like, really tightly compact top three, and then there's a bit of a step back. It seems like after that it's 3/10 or 4/10 down. We have a big bunching as well, so a lot of people are going to be fighting over that final podium spot most likely. Oh, Suzuka. So I was trying to say earlier, like, Suzuka, this is where, like, my addiction to the feeling of racing competition really started, because I had an amazing battle. Like, I still kind of replay. I still have the old video. Go back and watch it every once in a while. But battle and man, especially because around that time I was just watching all the old races, and the history in Suzuka is like Suzuka's got great history. It used to end the calendar, right? So you would find, or it was very near the end, or would end, and so championships would be decided. And we had all those moments between Prost and Senna. And that was all into Casio. You know, those big, like, their rivalry where they really started to hate each other. I was in Japan.
Yeah, yep. It was the champion decider pre-Brazil for a while, pre-Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a huge following there in Japan, and those were back, pre-Honda days too. So,
Yeah. Getting ready for today, I watched the 2005, the Kimi Räikkönen all the way from the back to the front win, which was that was a banger Suzuka.
Yeah.
It must be said.
Quite a few really good races here. I think probably one of my
Yeah.
favorites is 94 Damon Hill holding off a charging Michael Schumacher in the in wet conditions. That's a classic
Oh, that's
race.
cool.
If those of you
The
have
94
access to go back and watch.
Yeah, you should. 2005, 94, 88, 89, and 90. All those are all big years. And then, and man, 94 Schumacher. That is holding that Schumacher off is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was near the height of his power. Man, Suzuka. What a like. I think Suzuka's in my top three. Where the place I want to go watch races. I want to see a Coda. I would love to go see a Suzuka, and I think Spa. Right.
So that's your top three, huh?
I want to. Those are the three. Like, if you asked me, if you were going to give me 3 tickets, I think those are the 3 I'd want to go see.
Okay. Okay, I gotta
What
think
about
about it. Well, okay, so I've been to I wouldn't say quite a few, but I've been to the ones here in the U.S.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick between the top 3 I had to go to, definitely one would be Silverstone.
Yeah, of course.
2.
They do like a whole week out there,
yeah,
man.
and I would go
camp
for
a
a whole week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I probably would.
I
go
won't change
to
my answer now.
Singapore. Singapore is probably one of
Wow.
in my top 2, in my top 3. I mean.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what, maybe Monaco for the history for 3.
Yes. Monaco. If you have a big boat, I hear Monaco's a really good place to go.
I bet it is.
Man, what a life! What a life those people. Imagine watching the Monaco race from the back of your giant, awesome boat, man. Sign me up for that. So it's Walrus. It is Walrus on pole. Congratulations. The Walrus, relatively new to the grid, and has pipped some very strong drivers. Z-Milk will join him will be alongside him into turn 1. He's on the first row. Lysick and Owa make up the second row. It's Feeney and Reimer. They find themselves 5 and 6. Pontiac Bandit will line up alongside Bonget on the 4th row, and the 5th row is Antonium and Agnote. Agnote is looking quick here in Suzuka.
Yeah, Agnote, he's steadily increased his performance over the past few weeks. I'm not sure if he's, upgrading equipment, getting comfortable with his equipment, but you can definitely tell that his pace is picking up.
So there's a Dresden AI on the field. I'm staring at him and feeling a bit embarrassed this evening. My humble apologies. I'm hoping that he just quickly ends up in the back and is ghosted and is not a factor. So Hemphead, Curveball, and SP. If the AI affects your rates at all, I will find some way to make it up to you. My apologies. How do you not hit? I think I'm just so excited about the pre-show. Man.
It happens.
It happens. I'll stop beating myself up now. He's in a McLaren, though, and I think that's a bit poetic. You know? So you know what? Let's go, McLaren.
You know what?
Man.
If Dresden 7C wins this race, I quit.
Yeah. I'm gonna feed him you know what? I'm joining the car. Let's go. I'm gonna stretch out a little bit. All right. So hopefully he's a non-factor. So let's jump up to maybe Owa let's see here. Yeah, no, I think we'll watch. We're gonna watch from no Feeney. I can't jump into Feeney's car. I want to jump into Feeney's car. We're gonna take it from Owa. It is the CCRL in Japan. That starts right now. Good luck, everyone. I love Japan. I love Japan. We are 1, 2, 3. We are go. Very quick lights out. The wheel spin from Z-Milk, though he will look to take the inside line. He's got the lead into turn 1. Walrus will follow. Leipzig is very quick, and Reimer is through on Owa into 4th place. There does not appear to be any problems. Antonium may be having a bit of trouble back there. He falls back a couple of places on the start. Everyone away clean in Suzuka. Detail position change. Reimer is up to Z-Milk and Leipzig. Both pick Walrus right away. He has not fallen away though. He's 0.4 behind. Everyone very tucked underneath as you are. I'm on board action 6. Owa sticking a wheel in. Feeney fighting him off and around the big hairpin on the outside. Pushback. Owa falls back into 6th place. He's down 2 off the start.
Biggest losers from the start, Shashir B and Antonium, down 4 places each. Not where they wanted to start their race.
Yeah, some scuffling happening around turn 1. I saw Antonium falling back quickly, and Shashir's got a lot of work to do for sure. Curveball's recovery is underway. He is up 2 on the start, on the back. Let's head back there. Action 15. He's on Rob Stark. They are briefly side by side heading down into 130R, but Curveball will follow. Gonna be hard to get past this until DRS is activated.
Curveball going a little deep into Casio.
Yeah, that ruined his chance to get started up at the front, though. Reimer has slipped through on Walrus now. Walrus just slipping back after that great qualifying. He's still in touch, but is struggling right. Oh, and riding a little bit of curve there, and very lucky not to have a spin into the S's. Walrus.
Reimer significantly
Just
getting
trying to
that
get
pass done. He's on the softer tire, the only person to take those soft tires to start the race.
That, a big wrinkle, actually. We didn't even take a look at tires, mostly medium to hards. That's the strategy. Rob Stark and SP will start on the hards, but Reimer on the softs. Reimer on the softs. I'm not sure about that play here. We'll see how that plans out.
It's an interesting call.
Interesting call. I mean, the deck here, I don't know. I feel like in 2021, some of the harder compounds were actually faster. So I'm not sure about 2022 though.
Yeah, Japan is not a overly degrading track. Lots of downforce, so you do get a little bit more deg, but it's an interesting call with the softs. I'm curious if he's maybe banking on a safety car here early.
An early safety car would, if he can make the, I mean, he's up a few places, right? So he's leveraging some, let's see here. He has leveraged, yeah, he's up 3. So he's got some value out of them already, and he is keeping up with Leipzig at the moment. So an early safety car, I mean, he could turn that into real value. He also could be going a long soft stretch onto the hards. Soft to hards might work. So state of the race, lap 3, Z-Milk leads from Leipzig, who has not dropped out of DRS range. Reimer has had a great start. He's up 3, and Walrus suffering just a bit. He's down 3 from his pole position, but still in touch with the leaders. Owa finds himself in 5th place. It's Pontiac Bandit from Urban. That's 6 and 7. They're followed by Shiesty. Antonium and Bonget round out the top 10. Let's take a look at Leipzig on Z-Milk Action 2.
Got some early pit stops. Shashir, SP, and Anyote all in. Shashir and Anyote onto the hards and SP onto the mediums.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you could stretch hards all the way to the end, but it must have been wing damage around turn one. So let's see, we're sitting on DRS now, and Z-Milk looking very comfortable in the lead at the moment. Lysig trails, but not threatening. Not overly threatening, and Lysick actually has more of a challenge behind him than in front at the moment.
Yeah, Reimer on that softer compound tire. And if, like you said, Z-Milk is running a higher downforce setup, he is going to be able to extract more lap time around here. But that's interesting that the DRS isn't really having any effect.
Yeah, not yet. Still 0.8 behind, and man, Lysick looked like he might be just fighting to stay within that DRS range at the moment. So it's looking like a 3-horse race. Walrus, and he's still there, but maybe slipping back. Owa leads up best of the rest, and let's go Action 6 actually. Owa and Pontiac Bandit having a bit of a battle. Other fights on track at the moment. Curveball is getting past Rob Stark. Sheisty's fighting with Antonium, and Pontiac Bandit and Owa are all in contact with each other. We've got a DNF from Hemphead around the second Degner. Does that bring out a full safety car?
Full safety car. So this plays right into Reimer's hands.
Yeah, he's got to jump into the pits, but is it too early? Faking a pit entry was Lysick there. You know Reimer's into the pits for sure. But can Hard stretch all the way to the end here?
I think they can, and I think getting that pit stop done while it's cheap could really benefit Reimer. If, like he's done before, taking that harder tire and making it last is right in his wheelhouse.
And if he gets gifted one more safety car and gets to save tires under that, and just gifted first place because everyone else will pit probably at that time, Reimer. So rolling the dice, but he's got chips all over the craps table, let's say.
Yeah, spreading it thin tonight.
So could pay off. But once again, creative Reimer with the strategy approach here, and you know what? It's not a bad bet. A lot of spins happen around Japan. You notice that?
Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right, and that kind of plays into that. How much downforce are you running?
Yeah, you want to be glued to the track. The S curves, both spoon and turn one. Man, where do you get spins though? That final turn onto the pit straight, people accelerating a little too hard, you lose it there, right?
Yep.
The S corners, you take too much curb on a car that's not really set up to ride any kind of curb. They'll toss you off the angle. That final part of the S complex where you're accelerating around and heading into Degner, that's where I spin. And people are going to lose it around Degner a lot as well, carrying just a touch too much speed through there.
Yeah,
So.
I think that the second Degner 2, a time where maybe you don't get as many spins, but definitely a place where people lose a lot of time going wide on that part of the track.
Yeah, carrying too much speed, or conversely, it's one of those like you jam the brakes, but you jam the brakes for just a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So it's one of those like you really gotta judge it right, and if you jam the brakes too much, lose a lot of time, and if you don't shed enough speed, you lose a lot of time. So Reimer rejoins the race at 9th place, down 3 from his start, but he is on tires that they probably will go to the end.
Yeah, I'm thinking they will. By the time the safety car is done, he'll have brand new tires to go 20 laps on those hards. I think that sounds about right.
Oh man, man, it's tough to say. There's a lot of scrubbing if you're not driving carefully. You gotta protect the tires. So we'll see. We'll see what Reimer has to do. And man, if Reimer's tires go to the end, then isn't it the right call for everybody to dive in? Whether you're on mediums or softs, either way, you know.
Yeah, it's weighing that. Yeah, it's weighing that. How much time do you save in the pits versus how much time do you gain on a faster tire out on track?
Yeah, it's close. I think it's close. So this will be another interesting strategy session. We'll see where Reimer is towards the end of the race. I'll tell you though, one more safety car within the next 6-7 laps, and I think Reimer going to be in a really strong position.
So update on Feeney. He that was a lap 1 Casio incident. Cars coming to a stop in front of him, and he got terminal damage, lost suspension and front left tire. So unfortunately, his race today is over. Still waiting on an update from Hemphead to see what happened with him on lap 3.
PK, I love the updates. That feels so good. Love. So already, like, being live, just so neat. So looks like we're gonna restart the race now. Why don't we go action 3? Walrus got Z-Milk and Lysik ahead. Lysik just sniffing around, eager to get a good restart. Away is Z-Milk, away is Lysik, nobody fooled. And Owa very, very much tucked underneath Walrus at the moment, but without DRS, it's gonna be a train through turn 1, it looks like. Anybody really threatening? No. Let's head back action 7. Antonium on Urban. They're very, very tucked underneath here.
Antonium's got to be careful. As I say that, Agnote, take it away, Drez.
Yeah, looks like got another spin through the S complex. Agnote, who looked good in qualifying, out of this race, lap 7. So I'm still action 7 watching Antonium's fight against Urban at the moment. And Urban, again, a strong showing, tucked right in the middle between Pontiac Bandit and Antonium. I think it might be time for us to stop being surprised. Urban up here in the top 10.
Urban doing very well tonight, making a good showing for that AMG team. We'll see if he can keep that Mercedes in the top 10 tonight to get some points.
I like that we both biased a little bit, and that feels right.
Oh, of course I'm not.
Yeah, let's set up action 3. Walrus very tucked underneath Lysik. He's got to be itching to get those place back. When you earn pole, you feel like that first place position belongs to you. You don't like seeing anybody else in it. That's how I felt. The same pattern we saw before the safety car starting to reestablish itself. It's a 3-horse race. Z-Milk, Lysik, Walrus, they're faster than everybody else, but bringing up best of the rest, it's Owa, Pontiac, Urban, and Antonium. They're all in a knife fight back there. And Reimer, on the opposite strategy of everybody else, is in 8th place at the moment.
Shiesty currently tucked up underneath Curveball. I think he may be trying to take away that 9th place spot from the AlphaTauri driver.
Very, very tucked underneath. Backing out before the hairpin, however. Oh, and Curveball gets a much better exit. So the little field spread, we're gonna need. It's just narrow, bumpy, and a lot of this track there is one and only one line. We're gonna need some DRS here very soon.
And I believe we will get it on this lap.
Okay. So back up, and Lysik outside of DRS range. He's a second. He's 1.1 behind Z-Milk. Z-Milk, I think, fastest race pace at the moment.
And there you go. If y'all saw the top, DRS enabled this lap. So we will see it down this straightaway at the end of this lap.
All right, on action 3. Walrus versus Lysick. There is a fight I want to get into. We've got some spins in the back. Shiesty slipping through Reimer on the hards. Around turn or maybe into the S complex. So Walrus is very tucked. He's 0.5 underneath Lysick at the moment.
Reimer really struggling on those hard tires. He is dropping back. He's lost 3 positions in this last lap.
So hards, well, maybe just trying to get him into the window still. But he does not want to lose too much pace, I would think. Medium's working really well right now in Suzuka. Lysick is briefly back within DRS range. No, he is back within DRS range now. And just in time, this will be the first lap where it's really gonna be useful. Now Walrus into Casio, 0.2 behind. Can he get the exit he needs to challenge Lysick into turn 1? Does not appear so. Lysick very quick out of Casio.
Yeah, Walrus lost about 0.6 going through Casio. He really needs to maintain that gap going through there to make any kind of effect down into turn 1.
So if he can get, Urban and Antonium. Urban is run wide, and Antonium, action 7. No, they're dancing around each other. Urban back into the position. These two trading just a little bit around turn 1 and not bumping each other off the track. Good driving there. So as I was saying, back action 3 with Walrus, he was 0.2 into Casio. But he's got to be 0.2 out of Casio if you're going to get the pass done to turn 1. And Lysick much quicker through that complex. Now, interestingly, Lysick has made up 0.6 on Z-Milk. The 1, 2, 3 all within a second.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think as the tires degrade, you're going to see the drivers come alive. It comes down to who feels most comfortable with that rear end sliding around.
Yeah. So down the back straight, I'm watching those times. Looks like Lysick and Walrus are a bit faster in the straight line. Into Casio once again we go. 0.3 is Walrus now. The exit still going Lysick's way, but the exit really going Z-Milk's way. So the downforce paying dividends through Casio. Z-Milk just not vulnerable down the pit straight.
Yeah, and both
Let's check
parties
in with
using their
Antonium.
batteries.
Action 7. Sorry, action 7. The Haas driver is on the inside of Urban. Antonium is slipping through into 6th place, getting the pass done through turn 1.
I would not be surprised to see that Haas start to slide away now from that Mercedes. Let's see if he can make any time up to Bandit in 5th.
So, state of the race. Lap 11. Z-Milk looking. We've got a yellow flag. No, it looks like we're okay. So, Z-Milk looking. He's being challenged, but doesn't look like it's very, very threatening. Z-Milk and Walrus holding station. They're all within DRS range, but not really side by side in the turns that are pivotal. Owa falling back, Pontiac falling back. We've got field spread for the next 3. They're all separated by 2 seconds. Urban is still on the back of Antonium. They've been battling back and forth, and Curveball is in that mix now. His recovery going really, really well. He's up 9. Bongit is in 10th place. He's falling away from Curveball, and he's got SP on his tail. Let's go. Oh, what happened there? We've got impact between, I think, Antonium and Urban. Spinning around was the Haas. I believe Urban may have been very late on the brakes. Don't quote me on that. Into the pits both of those drivers.
I'll tell you, Drez, we were riding on board with Urban as that happened, watching the fight to see if Curveball was going to come from behind, and it just seemed like maybe Antonium maybe got a little bit of wheel spin going into Casio. I'm not quite sure, but very odd.
Yeah, well, that the Stewart's probably gonna have some opinions to share on that incident. It looked like a rough one. Where's Walrus? He's fallen away a little bit. He's in 5th place. Something's happened there because he slipped behind Owa and Pontiac. He'll need to recover now to find his way back to a podium. Man, Curveball and SP, these two are just marching through the field. They both, I think, DNF during qualifying, but man, they're both proving to be quite good in Suzuka. Up 11, both of them.
Yep, I was just getting ready to say both of them up 11 positions from their start. So both doing very well, and we'll see if they can continue up. What they really need is a safety car to get fully back in this. And leaders are in.
Well, leaders are in big time. Z-Milk's in, Owa is in, Pontiac Bandit and Walrus all pitting lap 12. Where's Reimer? Seems a bit far back still.
Yeah, I'm not sure Reimer has been competitive in this stint of the race. He is all the way back in 9th. Hasn't really made any efforts to come forward.
Yeah, so all of his competition on the mediums, and because the average speed of the grid, I think, has been improving, swapping over to the smaller tire, paying less dividends and suffering from more field spread for the Tier S guys.
So this will be interesting. I'm not sure what Leisig's strategy is. If he's going to try and overcut, which could be a legitimate strategy here, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, man, a safety car right now he's got about he needs a safety car within the next 20 seconds, and he would be a very happy Haas driver, I would imagine. But like you'd think he'd be in the pit. We saw so many people diving in. The DEG must be similar for him as well, and into the pits he goes. So let's stay on board with, where is the Z-Milk 7, Action 7, heading into 130R now. Has some traffic ahead. He may have been fighting with traffic during his outlap. Where is the Haas driver? The Haas is moving in the pits, but maybe not moving fast enough. No, he is. Looked like he's gonna be ahead. Leisig taking over the lead on, well, in strategy right now, and Z-Milk on the warmer tires at the moment on the Action 6. He's sticking a nose in here and a nose in there as we head around the S's, but there's only one line that really works. Man, he's fighting with Leisig, but Reimer now also trying to get through. So what a sandwich we've got here through Tegners.
Yeah.
They're all very. Go ahead.
Z-Milk really had an issue with tire warm-up on his outlap coming out of the pits there, so I'm not surprised that he was just all over the rear of Leisig, and surprisingly, Reimer back in the fight.
Yeah, right where he needs to be. So it'll come down to tire degradation for the three of them. I imagine Reimer gonna suffer a little bit towards the end of the race, but yeah, Z-Milk was very eager to get by Leisig, and you can't blame him. But the way this has been going, that extra downforce through Casio, I think gonna show itself. Maybe Z-Milk able to get a pass where Leisig wasn't.
Yeah, I think we'll at least see a bit more of a challenge than we saw in the first half of the race.
All right, so Action 6 is there, but we've got a bit of a DRS chain now. So while the runners ahead, oh no, still gonna challenge down the straight. Got a nose in, but backs out. Lysick driving as if he knows Z-Milk will not mess up the inside line confidently. Takes it, but he's got traffic ahead. Shashier and Rob Stark in their own private battle is backing Lysick up. And Z-Milk's just looking for a way through.
This is going to get very interesting with the slower traffic in front to see if Z-Milk can capitalize on that and get a pass in.
Oh man, I'm glued to my seat at the moment, and don't forget Reimer, he's in the mix here. Stepping out is Lysick. He's gonna be on the outside line. No, I don't. Shashier runs into him a little bit. Lysick into the dirt, will fall back 5 or 6 seconds. Now Z-Milk will be on the back of Shashier. Shashier may not have noticed that the Haas was on his outside line, or may have had a bit of a twitch that he was trying to recover. And Lysick, man, getting the short end of that stick.
Yeah, I think that's going to go to the stewards for sure, but it was really weird. I'm not sure if Shashier came out or if Lysick came down on Shashier. We'll have to go back and take another look at that later on.
Tough. Lysick punished, and Z-Milk now down the start-finish straight. This is going to be a good opportunity. But Shashier is being towed along by Rob Stark at the moment, so a DRS chain protecting him.
Strategically, this is going to get very interesting.
Oh, man. When you watch the Tier S guys follow the slightly slower guys, the slightly slower guys have different types of entry, right? So they're uncomfortable here or they're slightly slower there, but you never really know which turn it's going to be. So sometimes you have to be ready on the brake. It's harder to follow within point 2. Does that make sense?
Yes, I
the
absolutely
Tier S guys
agree.
are the Tier S guys are easier to follow in extreme short range. Now, a really good exit out of the hairpin, but he's got the outside line. That does not seem to matter. Z-Milk is going to be ahead into Spoon. Yes, he is. Backing out is Shashier.
Now, Reimer is going to have to get past Shashier in a hurry if he wants to continue his battle with Z-Milk for the lead.
It does not want to fall away. So we've got, let's see here, we've got some really long, hard runners at the moment. Everybody but Rob Stark ahead of Z-Milk has stops done. However, they have much, much older tires, and there goes Rob Stark into the pits. He will not hold up Z-Milk any longer. Behind is Reimer into turn 1, defending the inside line, but looks like will follow the Williams driver. Still behind.
Lysick has done a good job to recover from that bump that he received earlier. He is now within half a second of Reimer.
Well, yeah, he was 2 seconds behind, so had to make up a little bit of time there. So SP on lap 17 leads this race. Up 17, has a pit stop done, but no way those tires hold on to the end. In the same position, Bong it with a pit stop done, has second place in hand. Lysick getting past Reimer all of a sudden. Lysick getting a pass done into the hairpin.
Lysick may be driving with a little bit of anger, and for some drivers, it makes them all that much faster.
It does. A chip on your shoulder. It really helps out. It's funny. So let's take a look, man. So Curveball has recovered well. He's up 9 and into 8th place, and Walrus, man, just struggling. So Action 9, actually, Walrus and Curveball are fighting. They're side by side, heading down into 130R, hopefully ahead. No, ahead is the Aston Martin. I always tense up. I do not want to see people side by side into 130.
It is a tough corner by yourself. Yeah, side by side is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, a recipe for disaster. Smartly backing out as Walrus had the pass pretty much done into that turn. So Walrus recovering, Curveball recovering. I would have to believe we're going to see pit stops from SP and Bong it. 10 laps remain. Yeah, they would have to go 25 and 23 laps on those hards.
I think it can be done,
But
but I think their performance is severely going to suffer. They're right at the end of that stint.
Yeah, right at the end, but they have 7.5 second, well, 6 point, let's see here, SP, God, where is my, oh, I'm on board with Walrus as he has a bit of a twitch, but does not look he'll get punished for it. So about a 7.5 second gap SP has over Z-Milk and Lysick. Right, so 7.5 seconds. If you fall off a cliff, man, can they make it happen?
Well, like we saw
Now
2
I
weeks
don't-
ago in Portimao, you know, Reimer was able to just hold on until that last corner, making those hard tires really last.
And that's true, but at this point he had a 12-second gap.
That's true.
Instead of, and was holding that gap steady. Z-Milk has found about a second to SP on lap 18. So this one's feeling a little bit more out of reach. And I think the DEG here is has got to be a little higher than Portimao.
Yeah, I would agree. I would
think.
agree with that.
Yeah. So let's see here. We're in an interesting spot. I don't want a safety car now because everybody will have to pit probably.
What star? So
I
Dresden,
would
let's
say-
just play devil's advocate. What star safety car would that be if we got one right now?
Right now, let's see. I gotta let me think a little bit here.
Because you got to think somebody's going to go on softs. It could make for a very interesting.
Yeah, there could be a bit of a tire mix-up. I think SP Bongit ultimately would benefit. Well, no, let me think about this because the paces. SP might, right? Because let's say if a safety car happened in about 3 laps, that's when I'd want it if I was SP.
Okay.
3 laps time, a safety car, everybody pits, I come out on the softs and so does everybody else. Bong it, still a buffer behind me, and there's no DRS till the end of the race. SP. There it is, the formula for victory right there. But otherwise, I don't want to see it. I want to see this play out, personally.
So the gap,
let's
the
look
gap
this
from
week.
Z-Milk to Bongit coming down about 9/10 in the last lap.
Yeah.
Not only does he have to catch them though, he's got to pass them as well. So this could get interesting here the last couple laps.
So Z-Milk is ahead of Leisig, and I think Z-Milk's race pace is just better at the moment. I think he's got the strongest race pace and the strongest consistency. Walrus is fast, but man, plagued by those spins a little bit still.
I think that's kind of been the theme of the season for Walrus. Everyone recognizes that he has that. He's got the pace. You know, he's got the pace. He's got the qualifying down. It just seems like little details here and there plaguing him across the season so far.
Yeah, I said this in a conversation too, but I said the journey, right? Everyone gets fast first, right? And then they get consistent next, right?
Yeah.
And you're fast is intellect, consistency is wisdom.
Yeah, there you go. I like
Right?
that. That's very true.
Yep. All right, so let's go action 5. Reimer is troubling Leisig, and that's a bit surprising because Reimer's on really old tires at the moment. let's see. Also, Z-Milk still 4 seconds behind. I would think that lap. I think Bonnet and SP are going. I think they're going for it. They have to be. Yellow flag sector 2, but does not appear to be anything more than a yellow flag already recovered.
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh no, SP! It was.
Yeah, SP took a.
It was
little,
SP.
Yep, he took a journey off the track.
Oh boy, SP. Oh man, that was looking like a really strong attempt for first place right there, but his tires are the oldest, 18 laps. So you got to think they're suffering right now, and the back end just letting go, not performing as well as he was wanting it to.
Yeah, those tires are probably complaining right now, and I would not be surprised if we see him. Well, he might stay out.
Yeah, I think you'd have to. He's still got 6 seconds in hand back to Owa. I would have loved to see SP finish and force Z-Milk to work for it. Another yellow flag. Oh, it was 2 sectors that time. I thought we were close to a safety car. I do not want a safety car. Let's go up to action 1. Give Bongit a little bit of due. 17 lap old hards at the moment. And a 3.3 second lead over the very powerful Z-Milk.
And incidentally, Leisig has picked up a 3-second penalty for abusing track limits. So it'll be interesting when it comes down to here if Z-Milk and Leisig can catch Bonget.
That's quite a big deal for Leisig. SP is inside that range. Oh, but Reimer is inside the range, but he's also carrying around a bit of penalty time as well. Bonget is racing his heart out right now. That gap not falling very quick at all. He still has 3 seconds of it left with 5 laps to go. But that cliff is looming.
And I think he has just dropped into Z-Milk's vision too, so that will encourage Z-Milk to pick up the pace just that much more.
It is when you can see him, right? It's that carrot dangling in front of you.
Yep.
When you can't see him, can't see him. You're just like, oh, am I ever gonna catch him? But when you can see him, suddenly you focus in just a little bit more, don't you?
It's on at that point.
Oh man, 2.9 seconds, lap 23. The showdown for first place coming down between Alpine and Ferrari. It's Bonget in the lead at the moment, lap 23, and he's losing 0.3 for about a tenth a turn now. It's starting to come down faster. Man, it's gonna be tough. 4 laps to hold on to this lead. He may still grab a podium. There's a lot of time to play with. Leisig has been very steadily falling away from Z-Milk at the moment. He's 3.4 behind. Z-Milk definitely is the fastest man on track. Other interesting developments, it's SP and Reimer. They're both falling away from Leisig on really old hards. Owa may have a chance to move up if he can get in touch with them on action 2. I want to see what happens between Z-Milk and Barney. I'm sorry, and Bonget.
Yep.
Is Bonget going to take a race win? Are you calling it?
It's possible. It's possible. You know, we've seen a lot of drivers. We've got 4 drivers right now carrying penalties for track limits. So as those tires start to wear out, we're going to see even more of those start to pile on.
Oh, man. If Z-Milk pulls any kind of penalty down, Bonget can really let off the gas a little bit. So Z-Milk, not only does he need to be fast, he needs to be clean. And that gap is not coming down as fast as you would want it to. 2.6 and 3 laps remain. Bonget is looking stronger and stronger as time goes on here.
Bonget is using all of his battery, so it's going to be hard, I think. Z-Milk still has quite a bit of battery left to use, so we'll see if he can hold him off.
Oh yeah, Bongin is definitely dead, but spending all that battery, he has gained a little bit of time. It's 2.8 back to Z-Milk. Bongit, I think, can taste victory. Is the Ferrari gonna win? This is gonna be fascinating. All right, it's lap 24 of 27. Bongit currently leads in the Ferrari. His tires are really old, but I don't think he lost any time back to Z-Milk that lap. We've got some change happening. I thought I saw some inversion. No, so it's Bongit from Z-Milk from Leipzig. That's your podium. It is lap 25 of 27. Some very old hards on Bongit's car, but he is in the lead, and man, does it feel like it's going to happen at the moment.
Yeah, that gap
Reimer.
is just not coming down as fast as it was. I wonder if Z-Milk has approached some sort of, not a cliff, but maybe a plateau on his tires as well.
Well, right as you say that, a big slip, there it is. I think Bongit has hit the cliff. Right, it was 2.6 is 1.8 now, all within the space of half a lap. Will it hold steady? Is it stabilizing? Man, I'm watching from Z-Milk's car and Bongit's Ferrari, a bright red target. You know, that center of the target color.
And getting ever bigger.
Exactly, much easier to hit. So SP falling away. Oh, a big spin for the 22-lap-old hards. SP struggling. And if you look at those tires, there's a lot of graining. You can see it on there. Those tires are just cooked. 22-lap-old. What about Bongit's tires? They don't look quite as bad, though.
No, those tires look like they've been taken care of, actually. Maybe he's paying for them himself.
Man, it is lap 26. It's the penultimate 1.4 seconds separate. And just tire strategy is interesting right now. Very interesting for the Ferrari driver. But I mean, give the man some credit. Bongit deserves a little bit of due, even with the strategy. He is keeping pace with Z-Milk at the moment, and that is a feather in your cap.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to be on that level is a testament to how well he's driven tonight.
Oh, and look at this. Leipzig has had a big spin. He's now back behind Walrus in 6th place. Suzuka is coming for the Davids and for the Goliaths at the moment. Leipzig down into 6th. Bongit, very much a David most nights, will begin the final lap, most likely in the lead, but he's losing time now. He's got 21-lap-old hards. Z-Milk is chasing him down. We head into Casio. This will be the beginning of the final lap. I'm on board with Z-Milk. Now, this feels very much like the 2005 Kimi race. Z-Milk is 1 second behind. Bongit can taste victory. He just needs to hold it together, but he's very wide around Spoon. Z-Milk sees his opportunities alongside. He's got a wheel in there and into the S-complex. Bongit is fighting back, though. He's still got tire underneath him to hold Z-Milk back. He's back into the lead. That looked dangerous. Z-Milk follows for the moment. We're halfway through the final lap.
Both drivers sitting at identical battery rates right now, so this will be a drag race down the back straightaway.
Oh man, I can hear Bongit's heart from here. It's pounding in his chest. He has almost got a victory. No, the big spin! No! Outside of the hairpin, Bongit loses it. Can he get the car back underneath him to hold on to second place? Reimer is quite far back because Bongit's pace was legit tonight. He will hold on to second place, it does look like, but it is Z-Milk through and untroubled heading down to victory at the moment.
Oh my gosh.
Let's head down. Let's go action four. Reimer will have to hold off Owal. Reimer's tire's very old. Other fights on track. Walrus is also in this fight behind, but man, I don't think there's enough track left. Oh, but Reimer's got a penalty. Owal looking to grab fourth place, and probably Walrus will get through too. Across the line they go. Yes, Reimer falling back 2 places for the penalty. It's Owal on the podium at the moment. What a fun finish. Oh, bong it.
I wanted it so bad. I wanted him to take that victory.
Yeah, he's just willing it, man. 23 lap old hards, and you know he's just on the accelerator a little too, because at that point Z-Milk's like just, I don't know, the size of an elephant in his rearview mirror.
Yeah.
You know? That was bong it, second place. And so let's think here. This was all, no, was it under the safety car?
There was a safety car.
Yeah, 23 laps. The safety car. No, I think I will have to go back and rewatch it. But I think we're gonna have to talk to Bongit next week. Bongit, get ready, man. We're gonna want to talk about your race. Your almost victory. Congratulations on second place. But Z-Milk was fastest man tonight. That's for sure.
Yep, he's been on a real tear, and Monday night was evidence of that. And he looks like he's just carrying through. So congrats to Z-Milk.
Yeah, man, and currently winning in the championship, taking a victory tonight. Z-Milk looking very dominant lately. Bong it. Woo! And man, what does that say about SP without the spins? SP was another second and a half ahead of Bong it without that spin. SP and his pit stop strategy. I mean, and this is a big deal, right? So the strategies might be overcoming pace with everybody's skill starting to come together, right? So inside these windows where now these little strategy plays can end up in big payoffs if you can hold on without spinning.
Yep, yeah, we're starting to see a lot of these drivers come into their own, and as they do, they will be able to implement some strategies that will take them from, middle of the pack to running at the front with these S tier guys. So it's going to be fun to watch the rest of the season.
Ooh, yes, I'm excited. This was a good one. I love, like, man, when you got really big, intriguing questions and they come down to the final lap. That just doesn't get much better than that. So it is Z-Milk with the victory tonight. Congratulations there. Bongit takes second, and oh, wow, that rounds out your podium. Walrus, a bit disappointing after that pole start, but does recover well into fourth place. Reimer into fifth place after qualifying sixth. Lysick with a late spin, unable to recover from. He's in sixth place. SP had a good race, marred just by one mistake. He's in seventh. Pontiac Bandit always steady in the points. He's eighth. Curveball recovers from the back of the grid into ninth, and Urban rounds out your points paying positions. The Mercedes-Benz, both of them in the points again tonight. Urban in 10th.
Yep, that Dresden guy didn't do very well.
Oh, God. So, oh man, I'm gonna never make that mistake again.
So we've got.
I feel like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the integrity of the race, it means so much. So I really hate. It's embarrassing a little bit to see my stupid avatar out there. I hope he didn't ruin anybody's race. My humble apologies if he did.
So we got Pat R. Sema in the comments saying almost made it. I think that's in reference to Bong It, or maybe gotta be. But yeah, almost made it on those hard tires. That was a great drive by Bong It, and we'll talk to him next week in the pre-show. So Join us
Oh
next week.
yeah,
We'll hear more about that drive.
yeah. I just want to hear his feelings, man. Like you can, you know, he could taste victory, and Z Milk, that same kind of hunting. Like you know, you can get past him if you can just get there. Man, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It was a fun race.
Yeah, it was. And that last lap
Yeah.
drama definitely added to it. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, a lot of drama tonight. Leipzig paying that. Actually, that's kind of a big deal. Sixth place only. His charge he's been moving up steadily, but don't think this week he's gonna jump forward very much. So congratulations, Z Milk, on the victory. Bong it. What a fun race to watch from you. SP2, I thought. Uh, Japan. Japan's always fun.
Japan is always fun. But you know what's even more exciting?
Silverstone.
Silverstone Redemption Night next week.
Yeah. Oh, it's a redemption.
It's a redemption.
Yeah, that's great. I love the reverse grid. So that's reverse championship sprint, and then the results of that will. And so these reverse sprints, again, with the grid improving, they're gonna be a much more intriguing affair, you know, because with the grid improving, people getting to start up at the front. That's actually going to be a much bigger challenge for our Tier S guys.
Yep. So Leipzig will be starting in the back of the sprint next week, right alongside Z Milk. After that win, that puts Z Milk only 8 points behind Leipzig in the championship. So we have a true out and out battle on our hands.
Cool, cool, cool. So the Drivers' Championship heating up. We are now more than halfway done with 2.1. We've got Redemption on the calendar next week, and and Pro Tier will start on the 27th, and that's going to be a whole new grid to get to know. So I'm looking forward to that, and the implications of a competition for seats in Elite Tier. That's going to pay dividends over time. Lots of stuff coming up for CCRL. I cannot wait. We will end tonight with a big thank you to Z Milk and Bong It for putting on quite a good show at the end of the race. We'll see you next week for the Redemption Sprint in Silverstone. My name is Dresden.
PK.
We'll see you guys next week. Night, everybody.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel? On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Change your seat.
cheeks clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap.